About 2 years ago, I came across an article about the cremated remains of a veteran being buried in a cardboard box. And I thought that's a heck of a way for a veteran to be laid to rest.
We have individuals that arrive at the cemetery that might have paid a cremation society to cremate their loved ones, and the cremation arrives in a cardboard box with a plastic bag inside the box. They don't oftentimes know that. We have a gentleman by the name of Mike that lives and works here in Jacksonville, and he makes these wooden urns in his spare time.
There's one veteran being buried in a cardboard box. There's more. So we made 4 of them. And we brought them up to the cemetery. Within a month, they were gone. So I made 6 more. Within 2 months, they were gone.
The director out here at the cemetery contacted me and gave me Mike's name. People have tried to give him donations for the wood, and he has turned the donations over to the Missing in America Project.
What the Missing America Project does is goes around to funeral homes, and they look for the unclaimed, abandoned remains of veterans that were cremated and just left behind.
We try to make contact with last known next of kin. In most cases, we don't reach any of them, so Missing in America Project volunteers stand in as family members. Mike and his wife, Wynn, have participated in the service as a pallbearer and a flag carrier as well.
I can't tell you how I felt the first time I held the cremated remains of a veteran in an urn that I had made. It was really, emotional for that, you know. And then to see them all lined up there in front of American flags, it was really, really something.
Every one of us stood down there and raised that right hand and pledged to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that's something that never leaves you the rest of your life.
I just try to make them with as much passion and as emotion as I can, knowing what they're being used for. And I realize that those urns will be around a lot longer than I'm here. One day, I'll be up at that National Cemetery. I'll be able to talk to my buddies up there, you know, that I'm with, that I made those things for.
The sacrifices veterans have made all their life, and they still carry that to the grave with them.
I hope this reaches somebody who takes the initiative to reach out to a national cemetery where they live and see if they can do the same thing.
I've always wanted to be in the Army. Since I was probably 7 years old, I wanted to be an airborne ranger, second lieutenant, and I was able to fulfill that role. After about 10 years, I decided to get out and work in the civilian sector. AT&T's been a super company to work with. My co-workers and my boss have always been totally supportive. Some of the things that AT&T does for employees that serve their country and veterans are they'll match differential pay. There's always a point of contact that I can call to help in the 401k issue. They double the amount of contributions that they give you since you missed for a year. They'll double that amount for a couple of years. My co-workers, they would email me when I'm in Afghanistan, and it really means a lot to you when you're thousands of miles away from home and you get an email from somebody you know, or even a letter with something in it, or a package with something in it. But something that really made me love AT&T even more was I received a personal letter from Randall thanking me for the service on behalf of AT&T. The Christmas, I received a Kindle. This was so unexpected. It was just wonderful to open the present from AT&T and know that they're thinking about the soldiers that are deployed, and it just makes you feel part of the family.
My experience in the military was starting out as a radar technician on the flight line out at Naval Air Station, Dallas, Texas. Since I was in a very technical field, the transition was always easy. The experience I had in the military and the needs of AT&T complemented each other. The numerous deployments that I was called up on, I was always well received, was never discriminated against in any way. In fact, people actually applauded my service when I would return to the company. My awards in the military were numerous. I could never have done that without AT&T's enthusiastic support of the military, the reserves, the veterans.
The reason why I'm here today in New York City on the USS Intrepid is twofold. Number one, to represent my company, obviously, but also to help my veteran brethren.
I believe that it's very important for companies to recruit and hire veterans. It shows that you know, they're giving us support for us doing our job, and in return, they're giving us an opportunity.
There are a lot of skills that I picked up in the military that are definitely applicable to the civilian world. Things like the leadership that you get in the military, and you know, transitioning, working under pressure, and integrity and accountability. Definitely some big things that every veteran brings to the table.
We have talent recruiting, and we also have this wonderful portal which has an occupational specialty translator. You can literally enter your military occupational specialty, and they will give you a civilian readout, so it can help you build a resume, not just because of your service, but what you did in the service and what school you went to and what trade and where it applied.
One of the hardest things for any employer is, you know, if someone's going to come to work. With the military, you know they're going to come to work.
I was in the military for 6.5 years active duty and 1.5 years in the reserve. And I was deployed for 13 months over to Iraq. I received the campaign medals there, Iraqi Freedom, a meritorious service medal there for the work that I've done. Leaving the military and adjusting to civilian life was a pretty tough thing at first. It was 2 years in the making of me making the decision to leave. But once I actually left, I found that I already had the skill set to succeed in civilian life.
Recruitment of veterans is a key component for AT&T. Long term, they are looking to bring on the best and the brightest. And they recognize that the military has kind of the same approach. AT&T is looking for those kind of folks.
I think one of the biggest support groups in AT&T is the AT&T Veterans Group, Employee Resource Group in AT&T across the country that helps the families or anybody that wants to support veterans.
We help them with all kinds of things, including how to do their resumes, how to transition some of their skill sets, and how to do interviews, how to do job searching. A lot of that kind of information. It's really tough for veterans, folks that are coming out of the service. We help with that, and the AT&T portal is a good place to start.
The biggest thing to me was opportunity. In the military, there was a lot of opportunity. If you worked hard and you excelled, you can progress, and there's a lot of different areas that you can participate in the military, and I saw that in AT&T.
To me, veterans represent the backbone of our country these days. Many of them have made sacrifices to represent our country, and I find that very commendable.
When I was 19, I set sail with the USS Camden en route to the Persian Gulf. We were actually on board for over 30 days in the Persian Gulf, and we just did operations. After the 30 days, we were finally able to go to shore. We're all excited. When they told us the only place you can go is this location. And so we got on a small bus, and we went to that location. The only thing there was a small building, and it said USO/AT&T. And there was a bunch of phones there, and there was a sign that said that we can call home, and we have a 30-minute time frame. So I asked, I said, you know, what's the catch? I can call home. What are you trying to sell me? What do I have to sign up for? And he said, absolutely nothing. This is our thank you, our gift to you. Finally get a hold of my mom, and immediately she screamed with delight. She was beside herself. And so we talked for 30 minutes. And then I went to get up and let my mother go, and he came over there, put his hand on me and said, "No, you don't have to. There's nobody else here. Please talk as long as you want." And we talked for hours. And ever since then, I've been extremely loyal to AT&T for that. In 2004, I was honorably discharged. Immediately, we found out that my wife was expecting with her third child. My first concern is, what am I going to do financially? How am I going to take care of my wife, my 3 children? And so I went to college to pursue a career in the medical field. Then unfortunately in 2007, I became divorced. When I became a single father, I definitely had to seriously think about what I was going to do professionally. And so I needed to find somewhere to go. I needed a job that could pay well. I couldn't find it. And so one day I actually received an email saying that there was a job opportunity on AT&T, a small business department. And it listed the pay, it listed commission. All I saw, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And no weekends, I could be home at night. And that right there was gold. That's why I applied.
During his interview, Ricky admitted that he may not have all of the skills that we were looking for, but he definitely showed from the get-go that he had the drive and the ambition to achieve what we needed.
I absolutely always feel like we should give veterans an opportunity for consideration. They may not have the exact skills for a particular job, but they are very coachable, and they want the opportunity to make a difference.
AT&T is definitely a place to not only start working immediately after leaving the service, because we're definitely welcomed, but also to grow.
Perfect, thank you very much. Do you know the 3-digit customer code?
Being offered this job at AT&T dramatically changed my life, because at the time I couldn't afford to pay my bills, didn't have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of time to spend with my family, and accepting this job opportunity working here changed that altogether.
I have tremendous respect for Ricky York. What he has accomplished in a very short time is really inspiring to me.
My quality of life, professionally and personally, is definitely dramatically different. My children, they're very proud of me. I'm a lot less stressed. They notice that I'm happier. I enjoy my life. My mother said several times that I sound different, I act different. It's like I am. I enjoy what I do. I love working here, and I love being able to do the things that we do now.
He is one success story that I'm so proud of.
Looking back when I was 19, making that phone call, knowing that something good in the world is out there, and being able to build off of that. And I believe that really helped me to where I am now. Working for the same place that provided that phone call, it makes me overly proud to be with such a company.
We want to recognize, I think, AT&T for their support of the organization, and most importantly, we want to show our respect and recognition for 2 very special guests we have with us.
I was commissioned as an officer in the infantry division, and I deployed after a couple years of training to Afghanistan, where I was injured on patrol, and now I'm a proud graduate of Sentinels of Freedom.
Never underestimate the magnitude of what thank you means to vets. No matter what happens, I'm going to come here and I'm going to get taken care of. So fundamentally, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much, and God bless you.
I have the privilege to deliver to all of the AT&T organization a token of our respect and esteem. In honor of Mr. John Stanky, in honor of Mr. Randall Stevenson, in honor of Ms. Nicole Anderson.
AT&T has been by our side providing support, and for that, both we and I personally am very grateful.
It's just rewarding to see you guys. We can't say anything more than thank you. We are a big supporter of our veterans.